Hey, everybody. Welcome to What Had Happened Was, the first What Had Happened Was of 2022. KB Karyn Bryant here with
Angie Overkill Hill. What's up, everyone? How you feeling?
So we're feeling good. I'm feeling good. How's everybody feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. So far, my resolutions that I made for myself, I've been keeping them up. I know it's only been a week, but I'm pretty proud of myself.
All right.
Like,
Well, what were they?
well, I've been grinding on my jiu-jitsu, but that's kind of my resolution to compete more in BJJ. So I signed up for a tournament, and I've
Oh,
already gone
really?
to a few classes, and I've been working in my gi too, which is like, ugh, I hate gi so much.
You
I get so
do.
claustrophobic.
See, I
Yeah,
always said that if I was to do jujitsu, I would only want to do gi jujitsu because I think that's so much
really.
cooler. Yeah, because I love the collar ties. I love all that. Like
Mm.
it drives me crazy to think of like somebody dragging on my sleeve and stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like if we're in a fight out in a street fight, that's going to be more realistic. I'm going to need to know how to use your shirt you're wearing to choke your bitch ass out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I think, and I just find it way more. I just like all the options and all the cool stuff that you can do. You know what I mean? Along with just the regular jujitsu. I really prefer the gi jujitsu if I'm honest.
Well, I'm learning to love it, but it's hard to go from a person who only trains no-gi and pretty good, I'm pretty good at no-gi. I'm able to like tap people past the guard and everything.
Right.
And then as soon as I put that gi on, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you grabbing me? Get off of me. You're cheating. It's like
Right.
a weird transition. So I don't know. I have to be humble in my approach and just
Yeah.
realize, okay, you don't understand some things about the gi, and that's why the learning curve is a little harder right now.
Hmm.
But as I've embraced it, I've gotten better at dealing with the grips, not getting choked out by my collar as I'm passing them out. I
Right.
was like,
Right.
oh, that's how that
Oh,
works.
that's how. Right, or like when you see
Ah,
yeah, because like so my daughter used to train she used to do jujitsu a little bit. It made her go, but she didn't love it. But she went to
me
Cobrinia's.
either.
So Cobrinia's like he won the Grand Slam. He's amazing, right? So we're like, he's right up the street and he's our friend. So if you're gonna train, you may as well train there. Well, guess what?
Right?
Everybody else is really competitive, and she was just there for, whatever. But anyway, he's amazing. And I love
Yeah.
watching Cobrinia do gi jujitsu. It's just phenomenal. Like it's
It's just
just phenomenal.
pretty. It's
Yeah.
pretty, right?
It's cool. And of course, me on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, but Angela, like, I'll sweat more in a gi too, and I'll like lose more weight doing that. It's all about the thighs.
That's part of
Uh,
it.
it's true. But yeah, like I just think it's really interesting. I really like gi jujitsu. Yeah. I mean, no
Same.
offense, nothing wrong with no
No,
gi.
I'm
I love
learning
it
to
too,
like
but
it.
I'm way more into gi jujitsu.
And you know what's cool? Gi jujitsu, even when you're getting beat up, you're still kind of cruising. So that's the cool part about gi
Yeah.
jujitsu. As soon as I went to like an open mat today, and as soon as I took off the gi, I was like, whoa, like my heart's going like 100 miles a second. I'm just like, oh wow. Well, that's the difference. It's more of a grind in
Yeah.
gi, and in no gi, it's more of a sprint, more of a scramble. So I think that's why I like it, just because I'm
Right.
little. I like to scramble. I like to zip around people and try to outrun them basically.
Right.
And gi is just getting me more patience. So
Well,
it's
that
it's
makes sense.
fun.
That makes sense too, because for me, like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm flexible. So I feel like and I'm like, and I'm not small. So I feel like I'd be on my back and I'd be the one who's got like one sleeve and one leg. And I'd be just
Yeah.
like effing with people all day. And I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's interesting. It's funny though, the whole get off me thing. Like, that's really why I don't do jujitsu as much as I'm interested in it. And I enjoy watching it so much. I have a real, like, get off my face. Like, I just don't think I have the patience to get smothered and stuff. Like, I just
Mm.
think I don't think I'd be able to keep my temper in check. Like, I know I just don't.
Just start clawing eyes
I
out like
would. I
that
would start
chick who fought Jillian
dude, that
Robertson.
was dirty.
Dude, I was so mad at
Dirty.
her because in the street, you expect stuff like that.
Right.
But you
Right.
could do that to them too. When it's a
Right.
fight and there's rules, like don't break the rules. Like she was nice enough to let go of the choke after she finally tapped out. But
Right.
I feel like if that was me, I'd be like, nah, you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what
you
I'm
want
saying.
to
I might
claw
hold
my
it a
eye
little.
out? Like, you're going to
Yeah.
sleep.
She's
So
reaching back and jamming her. Like, that was bad.
she was, she was like,
She was. That was
Oh,
bad.
so bad.
Well,
That's
in
so
the
bad.
past, yeah, people have gotten in trouble for holding stuff too long. Like Babalu, my buddy, got in trouble once. I guess
Oh,
David Heath or somebody. Yeah. And we know, Polaris, was it? Who Polaris used to always mess with
oh,
people's legs
always.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
His
Um,
coaches, I think, went on record saying that he was a little different, though, a little special.
oh,
Yeah, like I think that's why, because he would always seem so confused. He's just like, what?
yeah.
I got a tap, So
He didn't realize
I
he was a
think
bad guy.
yeah, I read an article where one of his coaches was just like, yeah, he's a little slow. Like that's kind of
Oh,
the problem. But
okay.
I should
Okay.
probably Google that before I go on record
He is now. It's official. He's slow. It's
But
just,
I
it's
mean, that
official.
would make him less of a bad guy. I feel like if he was just not understanding that it was time to let go of the submission, he just sees red
Yeah.
and goes for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That
hey,
makes sense.
what's up to the chat? And
Hey, what's up in the chat? But yeah, we're gonna have Brandon Royval on in a few minutes, and he's the
yeah.
number 5 UFC flyweight who's fighting this weekend. So that's gonna be fun. But what am I missing over here?
I just wanted to say hi to the chat. We have Dina from Korea.
What
Hey.
up?
I had
Awesome. I
a
love it.
friend, Ji Young Kim, Champy. She always went like
Yeah,
that when we were.
Champy.
Yeah. That means I love you. So thank you, Dina. And we have a couple or a
What is
few
it? Bacon laid?
baked and laid.
Yeah.
Wow, that
Well,
sounds like a
good for
good
you.
Sunday.
Congrats.
Yeah, we're jealous. We're
Totally.
jealous over here.
We're jealous. We're jealous. Hey, Joe Boza, welcome. Hey, good to see you, Joe. What up,
Bob
Omega?
Saget died.
No, I don't think so. I hope not, because you know how whenever there's a UFC live stream, everybody goes, "Rest in peace, Joe Rogan." Like,
Oh no.
I think it's a troll. I don't know. Hopefully, Bob Saget didn't pass. If he did,
I
rest in peace.
kind of
But
want to
I think it's
Google
like a
it.
troll thing that people do.
I'm so
Okay, so
scared.
you're good on your resolutions. I am good on my resolutions too, because when I was jumping rope today, which was my first jump of 2022, because I was on vacation last week.
Okay.
And I actually, it was a thing for me to not pack my jump ropes on this trip. Because I was like, I'm going on vacation. I'll see my mom. I'm going to take walks on the beach. And I thought I would do more of that kind of stuff. So I didn't pack my jump ropes.
Okay.
But I was jumping today, but I'm going to be doing more weights and stuff this year. So I've already kept on my promise as well, because as I was jumping, I was doing more things that were implementing, weights and things like this. So I gotta get the guns and gear.
Yeah, you
And
look good though. I saw your little pictures on the beach. I was like, okay, Karyn, letting the skin out. Okay.
I mean, well, here's
letting
the
that
thing.
brown skin shine.
Yeah, Angie. Well, you know what? You and Hanato and a lot of people were telling me that, I just need to be a little freer.
It's
I
true.
just need to be a little freer. And you're right.
Yo,
You're right. Ooh, okay.
It's true.
Oh no.
Fuck.
Why? What
I am
what
very sad
happened?
about that.
What happened? What did it say? How?
Dang.
Was it the Rona? Was it the Rona? Fuck. I hope it wasn't the Rona.
It just says inside a hotel room. This is Fox News.
Inside his hotel room? I hope he wasn't. I hope he wasn't. I hope it's not one of those things where he was sick for a really long time and just never told anybody, and then I don't know.
Yeah,
I
or
mean,
like Chadwick Boseman. That was really rough.
That was so sad.
Damn, Bob Saget. No, America's Home
He's
Videos,
funny.
dude. Like this is the worst part of getting older. Is just like all your childhood celebrities and people that you thought were great and immortal basically start dying, and then you're God.
Well, the whole Betty White thing, with Betty White only days from her 100th birthday, like that.
Hard hit.
That sucked.
Damn. But Bob Saget's only 60 something, so that's crazy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I hope it wasn't I wonder if it was a heart attack or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It said no drug use or foul play, so something horrible or natural causes, I guess. I don't know, man. That's rough. All right, let's move it on though. Let's get a brighter note going. I'm sorry, I had to look it up. The chat was saying it was real, and I didn't want to discredit our poor commenter. So
that was what was it?
Sorry about that.
Eximeo Vortex. Sorry, I don't knew all their Twitch handlers. I'm like, you guys all have like really funky
XYZ.
names. Yeah, so
Meow
sorry.
Vortex.
Well, and Sydney Poitier too. That's the whole thing. Yeah, when
Sydney
when
Poitier, yeah.
and when
Ugh.
like it sucks because this is kind of a weird thing, but I used to host an entertainment show at CNN. I know a lot of people think like CNN is left wing and Fox is right wing. That's totally not true because I used to work at CNN and there's a hell of a lot of right-wing people there. So let me just say, you guys, if you're drinking the Kool-Aid from I only watch this one channel or the other, like you guys are all have it wrong because
It's
they're
best to
all
be in the middle of the
multinational
bird.
corporations. Yeah, and they all have a bunch of people on it.
Uh-oh. Did I lose the Karen? I'm not sure if I'm live or if Karen's not live, or if I'm live or Karen's live. But hopefully that'll fix itself. What's up, Joseph Rodriguez? If you can hear me, let's see. Check the YouTube real quick.
Okay, we're there. Sorry, I
there we
moved my
go.
thing. I moved to the thing that has like all the Ethernet plugged in. I'm like, oh no.
I
won't
was
be
like,
touching
wait a
that again.
second.
So hopefully
Who's
this looks good
frozen?
because we're both on an Ethernet thing, right? So this should look
Yes,
it
I
should
made
look good.
sure. I made
It
sure
should look
before we
good.
started.
But what I was saying is so when there's certain older celebrities, like somebody like a Betty White, it's a really weird thing, but we would have they kind of pre-build the death packages. And so because things are going to happen, right? And so some of these people, if they're sick or whatever, they'll start to build the packages. So that's why like the Chadwick Boseman thing probably threw all the news people for a loop because nobody expected it because he didn't say anything. But with Betty, I know, that's why you see like I think they were kind of more ready for that kind of stuff. But I'm guessing on the Bob Saget stuff, it's like a full scramble. And it was the craziest thing. Like you'd get we used to be on Blackberries back then, and I know Blackberries just died as well. Rest in peace, Blackberry. And I loved that of mine. But it was the freakiest thing because you would get you'd just be chilling and you'd get your Blackberry blow up and it'd be like so and so died. You know what I mean? And you're like oh
yeah.
And like everybody would scramble and like run into work and depending on stuff. And it's tough, man. It's tough. Rest in peace, Bob Saget.
Hey, quick segue before we bring on
Mr.
Brandon
Royval.
Royval. Hi, Mom. My mom's in the chat. Her
is your mom?
Angie's mom. So make sure you guys are nice.
Nice. Well, my mom, hi doll. Look at her, hi doll, Angie's mom. It's so funny. My mom will probably pop in here too. I know we were saying this at one point, but you know what would be funny, Angie, is one day if we do a show where it's like you, me, your mom, and my mom.
I want my mom to do fight predictions. She has the funniest reasons for picking.
Oh, really?
People. So yeah, I definitely want her to do it. I'm not going to spoil it now, but her reasons are a little unorthodox, but a lot of times she's right. So I want her to do it. She might make you guys some money.
Well, cool. Because I was going to say, and it might be one of those things where, we could have, it'd actually be funny. I think it'd be funny to have our moms out too, and they were like to tell stories. I mean, like I was just back home and looking at a bunch of pictures and all these things. So like, it would probably be funny to hear their takes on like where we are now and whether or not
get her started. She's probably typing on it. No, don't encourage her. She's on the keyboard like, well,
your mom's adorable though. Come on, Angie.
No, not yet. We got to get her on so you can enjoy the theatrics because she's very expressive. So
all right,
I got it from.
Well, cool. Well, so listen, so this weekend, Brandon will be fighting. We have Calvin Kattar versus Giga Chikadze in the main event, which is going to be really freaking awesome. And I might have Calvin is scheduled to be on Tuesday Night Festivities with me and Hanato tomorrow. Which, by the way, people should know we do that show Tuesday Night Festivities, and then we do the after party. If you're watching this on my YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and please hit the notifications because we do a lot of cool, really funny things, and it all ends up here on my channel. And also, people can subscribe over on Twitch, right?
Yes, you can subscribe, you can follow, you can throw me a coin or something. There's lots of stuff you could do on Twitch. So do it. Do all of them. Do what you want, but follow along so you get our notifications and tune in. All I want is views. So view it. Watch and keep coming back.
Well, you have a new show too that you need to hype.
Yes. Sirius Radio. I'm on MMA Talk. I keep forgetting the name of
You're
it.
nailing it.
But
It's with Ryan, right?
yes, it's with Ryan. It is MMA Today. Airs on channel 156 on Sirius XM Fight Nation, and I'm on there every Wednesday at 6. This week I'll be doing Monday and Wednesday as well.
Oh, okay.
And the Monday show is kind of a WWE show. So if you guys have any WWE facts you want to drop in there, or pro wrestling, sorry, that's how bad I am. I'm like the people who call MMA UFC.
UFC. I only train UFC.
I only follow WWE. So if you have any pro wrestling facts you can throw in there that I can drop on those guys tomorrow, then go for it. Go for it.
Because I think Ryan's kind of into wrestling, isn't he?
Yeah, but I'll be doing it with Renee. She's like the pro wrestling girl. And then Misha Tate usually does her show on Monday. So I'm doing Misha's role as talking about MMA and stuff. So yeah, it should be fun.
Cool. Well, that'll be really fun. I don't have Sirius anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's all good.
Well, I don't drive around as much. Like after the when the pandemic hit too, you're like, I'm not in the car as much, and like
I'd rather watch. I'd rather watch things.
Yeah. But so big year. So we should say, we have Brandon with us, but for folks, maybe if this is the first time they're seeing this, like, we talk about MMA, but a lot of time we end up talking pop culture stuff here too. And it's just that, a lot of the podcasts out there, a lot of the shows are dudes, or they're dudes that are like trying to be the smartest guy in the room or whatever. I've worked in MMA since 2007, but even before that, I started covering combat sports in 2005 or so. So it's a funny thing, like the men in this industry, all the experience they have and the credibility they have, they like get more and more shows. And for us, they're just like, oh, you guys are girls. But we actually know a lot of stuff. So Angie,
I like having a show like this because we can introduce women to people who also like them. Sometimes you feel like when you're as a guy, like if you're going to a MMA chat room or MMA party or something like that, sometimes it's not fun when it's just a sausage party, like sometimes you need a little feminine energy to spice things up, to liven up the room. So I think more women getting into the sport is just like all the other sports. The more you see women in there, the more you see men in there, the more you see eyes in there, children growing up, watching the sport, wanting to be part of it. It's all a good thing. It's a good thing for everybody.
Preach. And also on those other shows, you don't have the possibility of a nip slip.
Is there a plan for the
I used to joke all the time, but I was like, look it, I swear to God, Ange, it might happen. I used to joke all the time that one well-timed nip slip could be actually very productive for my career.
Yeah.
And I never did it before because I was married and I'm not married anymore. So you might get the nip slip. You might get the accidental nip slip. Yeah. Meanwhile, my child is in the other room going, really, Mom? Really?
Like, Mom, please. You still can't do it because
baby gotta pay the bills. Mama's gotta make some money. So I'm not saying I'm going OnlyFans, but I do find, Angie, it was one of those things where I literally was like, it's like, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? Like if sex sells and I got titties, maybe I should use my titties more.
Guys can do it. Guys can show their nips all the time. I personally feel like my mom wouldn't mind too much. If I start throwing my nips out every now and then, just like boop.
Your mom wouldn't mind?
I don't think so. She's always encouraged me to embrace my femininity and everything. And then I became an MMA fighter. So there you go.
Right. Well, because my mom is Jamaican and they're very proper. But Jamaicans are very sexy people, though. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things like when you go to the island and you see the girls and you see the like they're very sexual people and they're very sexy with that gorgeous skin. And like I'm full of cocoa butter, by the way, today, too. I smell like cocoa butter because but with being in Florida and I got a little bit of a tan, I wanted to punch my tan up. So now I got to protect it, of course. So I'm all like cocoa butter now.
Wow. Soft and saucy.
So that's the visual. We're not in smell-o-vision yet, but when we get in smell-o-vision, television. Just imagine if you guys have cocoa butter. I'm cocoa butter, and Angie probably just smells like what? Like you smell like
Cocoa butter, shea butter, one of the two. I usually go with Palmer's every now and then.
coconut oil. Yeah,
I'll hit
Palmer's.
the
That's what
hair
I was rocking earlier.
Yeah, Palmer's all day, every day. But sometimes I'll hit up the hair salon and they'll have the shea butter in the corner, straight from Africa. I don't know which country, but it's from there. So I'm using it and it's making my melanin pop. So yeah, there
It's
you go. You
true.
gotta do it. You gotta do it.
It's true.
Especially
Gotta
we
do it.
live in a very sunny area, so you gotta keep the skin moisturized.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, so let's look here. Okay, so there's some more comments here. Okay, so people are saying, yeah, props. KZ Crimson is saying, "Greed, KB, go for it. Power to you. Props to the ladies of the game from P Brown."
Thanks.
Trady 80 is saying your New Year's pick was too sexy, Ange. I saw you popping your booty over the last couple days.
It was funny because I was like, okay, I gotta post like a nice photo. And of course, Adam is the photographer, my husband. So
yeah.
So we've already had a few New Year's drinks, and I'm like, how about this one? How about this one? How about this one? And I'm like, oh, I hate them all. And then I was like, let's do some joke ones just for fun. And then of course, those are the ones that I end up posting because I'm like, these are the most fun.
So one thing and it's funny because you had me trying it too, because you did the Cardi B on the heel booty popping thing, right? And you were like, yo, this is harder than it looks.
I'm so bad at it because you have to arch your back while your leg is tucked behind you and then the other leg is straight, but you think that the straight leg is like a kickstand, but it's not. There's no balance on that. Like that leg is hovering. You can lift the leg up in the air, it'd be the same amount of balance, like all the weight is on that back leg. So not only is it like bent underneath you, and then the heel, if you have to be wearing heels, the heel is giving you pressure on the knee, the butt being weighted over the leg is giving you pressure on the knee, and then this other leg is floating, so you're either gonna pop your knee or you're gonna fall over, and then you have to arch your back. So like that's the hard part, is like do all this and arch your back without falling over or like injuring yourself, and it's really,
and look natural and look
cute and look like you're not trying. I'm like,
well, and the funny thing is because I didn't put heels on till I was in my mid to late 20s or whatever. Like I was such a tomboy, and I don't know if you can say that anymore, but I was a total tomboy, and I was like,
I was more
sporty,
of a tomcat.
Oh, the tomcat. But so heels are like still a thing for me, and so like whenever like when I'd be at work, they're like, okay, yeah, KB, you're gonna do this walk and talk, and you're gonna be wearing all these heels. I'm like, are you gonna see my feet? Okay, here we go. And like literally I spend more time, like I can memorize stuff really fast. I have like all that kind of stuff is whatever. Literally I'm just like, don't wipe out. Don't wipe out. I'm just not great in heels. So I still,
and it's so hard because
it's
on camera. So if you wipe out, everyone's going to see it. Like at least like I would be worried about wiping out when I used to work at a restaurant, and I'd have to carry like all these like trays of food and drinks and stuff. And I wiped out a few times, and it was bad. It was really bad, but there's no camera evidence. There's no footage of it. So it's like it didn't happen. And that's the best part. But with your job, you actually have to make sure you're not going to die. And
I know
it becomes a meme.
Exactly. I don't want to be a meme. I really don't want. I just sent you a text. I meant to send it to my daughter to like help me out and turn on some lights. And I just sent it to you and said, "Hey, there she is. Like, can you turn that one on?" And then and then maybe
I'm like, why do you need me to turn it on?
No. I realized the rest of my house was kind of dark, and I was like, "Oh, I think this will help." Thank you, kiddo. Thank you, kiddo. I got the best little munchkin in the world, man. She's awesome. So we were watching a little Infinity Train before this. I know you're big into anime and stuff. And have you seen Infinity Train?
I haven't heard of that one.
It's good. It's on
Is it the new
HBO.
Thing?
It's a cartoon. It's not anime. Sorry, it's cartoon. It's not Japanese, but it's on Cinemax. HBO Max or whatever, and it's called Infinity Train, and it's cool. They're only like 11 or 12 minutes episodes or whatever, but she got me into it mostly because the band, there's a name of a band in the show called Chicken Choice Judy, and I'm like, ooh, that's the greatest name I've ever heard. Like I want a Chicken Choice Judy shirt. She's laughing at me now, but I'm serious. Like Chicken Choice Judy is awesome. If anybody watches Infinity Train, you got to let me know.
Okay, I'll have to look that up. But
Now she's laughing at me. She's like, my mom's either. Am I cool or am I a dork? She said it's a good show. I'm either
okay.
I'm horrifying her or it's like whatever.
Nah, she loves it.
She wants it to be renewed. Well, and she's also very excited because AOT came back, Attack on Titan.
Ooh, okay. I need to catch
And
up on that one.
yeah, and we did the little dance. Okay, wait, Ange. Here, I should show you. Dang it. If I was better at this crap, I would have fed it into our feed. Look at me and Aurora doing the AOT dance. We did it last year, and then we're doing it again today.
Oh, snap.
Wait. Look at us. Whoa, here we go. Here we go.
Snap.
Oh, bam,
Hey,
bam.
hey.
Oh my God. I mean, come on.
You did the thing at the end. That's so cool.
I love it. And because we did that other one, what, year and a half ago? Yeah, it was like a year ago.
It just got better. It just got better.
Yeah, it was a year ago. And so now they're back. And so, yeah, we did it again. And she's just like, yeah, mom's so hyped for it. And it's
that's awesome. You need to post that. You need to post that on your
she posted it. I know. I should put it on my
like, TikTok, right?
I do have a TikTok.
You have a TikTok.
I do, and I should use it more. I should use it more this year. That should be one of my resolutions is to get to get on the
This is what the kids call TikTok dances.
Right? I know. Okay, well, so listen. So Brandon, it's funny. He was here, and now, but I don't like see him on. I can add him, but I don't. But he was okay. There he is. Okay, so let's tell you what.
Okay,
I'm just gonna pop him in, and
hey,
then
there he is.
Hey, Brandon, we're here, baby. Hey, you. Hey, how you doing?
Switching places.
Oh, okay.
Oh, where are you going?
Oh, he's traveling.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, look at that hair.
I know.
How are you? Welcome to What Had Happened Was Mr. Brandon Royval.
What is up, y'all? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
It's great to see you. Hey, wait, so you guys, do you like this layout or we could go to this wait, no, that's the wrong one. We could go to this layout. Which one would you like? This might be better.
I'm unaffected by all.
Or what do you think? This or this?
Let's do the big Brandon.
All right, here
big Brandon. Yes.
Yes. Hey, so listen, Brandon. What's the deal? It is Sunday. You're fighting on Saturday. Were you just working out? What are you doing? Were you chilling? What's the deal?
Yeah. So honestly, I always buy myself like a nice little outfit before I fight. So I was buying like an outfit and then saying goodbye to my parents before I head out and all that stuff. So.
Aw.
So what kind of outfit though? Where do you go to shop for it?
Where did I don't even know where I bought it from? Some like random store though. I bought it was weird, but like it was like a Western looking shirt. It was like modern, you know what I'm saying? It's like a Western type of like button up, but it's like modern, so you know. Okay. Yeah.
Did you go down to Shepler's? Did you go to Shepler's?
I don't know. Just some random ass store in the mall that I walked by. I was like, let's see what this is. I don't know.
I'm mad that Karyn knows all the Western joints. Like, oh, Shepler's, yeah.
Well, Shepler's is in Denver. It's like outside of Denver. That's like the one country cowboy store I've ever been to. Like, but it has everything.
Yeah. So we had like a Western themed party yesterday, like a Factory X like end of the year party, and for some reason, I'm like obsessed with Yellowstone. So they made it like Western themed, and I have no Western of anything, so it all just kind of worked out like hand in hand. And I guess I was still feeling the vibes from the party yesterday, and just bought an outfit that went along with it. I was like, damn, a day late, but fuck it.
Yeah, I was really feeling the Western style after watching Westworld. Did you ever watch that show?
No, I haven't watched Yellowstone either, but they
okay.
They're all trying to be like some dude named John Dutton, and apparently he's a gangster in there. So.
Ooh, okay. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, Westworld was good. Now you reminded me, Ange. I don't think I ever watched the last season. I might have to go back and watch that.
Just don't watch the last episode. It sucked.
It was like Sopranos type thing.
Well, I actually liked the last Sopranos episode, but you ever watch what was that one that Lost? You ever watch Lost?
Yeah. I watched the whole show, every show.
Well, the last episode was like the last 2 seasons. Just ruined it. But but enough about that. Let's talk about you. I love the swoop that you have going on. Is that you're growing it?
Since I was younger, I've never had like my hair in my face. So I don't know if I should cut it Did you guys know if that's going to play an issue? I don't know.
They can braid it for you. It will be, because
Oh.
all I think of is KJ Noons back in Strikeforce, if anybody remembers KJ. And he was so cute and everybody, but he would play with his hair because it would come in his eyes during the fight. And like, that can be problematic if you have to fix your hair. So maybe you could braid it up a little bit though.
Do you have any of these like weird habits, like in between combos and stuff? I don't like do my hair or anything yet, but like I noticed James Krause, every time he fights, he's fixing his hair every 2 seconds.
Right.
Like,
Dude, who was it? There was somebody that used to like fix their shorts constantly in the fight. And it was
every time I throw a combo, I pull up my shorts like I'm fighting in the hood or something like that.
Yeah, like, all right.
Like, no matter what, like, that's like my go-to. Is like, even when I was younger, I'll be pulling up my pants or something. Like, I'm wearing Daisy Dukes in there, pulling my pants up, hiking them up all the way.
Yeah, let's get some balls action.
It's funny you say that, though, because before you came on, we were talking about, like, gi jiu-jitsu versus no gi. And I was like, I really like gi jiu-jitsu because it's more like what I imagine in a street fight. And, yeah, I could use your clothes against you. So if you roll up in this Western shirt, Brandon, I'm going to take that collar with your little pearl buttons on the little flap over things, and I'm going to try to, like, choke your ass with that. But like, do you do gi jiu-jitsu? Do you do no gi jiu-jitsu? What do you prefer?
What you didn't know is the only thing Western that I actually bought and went out and bought was a little pistol, like this little fake pistol. So I would have ripped out through on you so quick, you wouldn't even know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, love the counter, man. Fast hands.
Yeah, do gi jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, I do gi. I think you might agree with me on this, Angela, but like for me, it's like my whole thing is scrambling and moving my ass off. So sometimes I get slowed down and it's the worst. If they can slow me down, then it's like I lose a little bit of control and a little bit of like what makes me good in jiu-jitsu. But I've been trying to slow my game down anyway, so we'll see. We'll see if I have to get more to that gi. But I train gi only once a week.
Okay. That's still more than me. I'm still like about to hit my 10th gi class, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, I'm saying even gi's a weapon against me. Every time I have it on, I'm like, oh shit, just don't let him touch this. Don't let him touch this.
Right, and that's why I like it, because you can use all that stuff against the person. Yeah,
for sure. Time down, all that stuff. Yeah, it's creative too. It's like a whole nother world. If you want to get good at gi, or if you're like trying to catch up with like world class gi, it's a whole different sport than no gi. So it's like. Even like the superstar jiu-jitsu people, they have to spend more time on one than the other. You think it'd just be easily translatable and you just be good everywhere, but it's not.
Right.
The coolest thing I saw the other week, somebody like they undid their shirt and then started wrapping it around their neck, and I thought that was so cool. And it's like shit like that you don't really see when you go to 1 or 2 classes, but when you go to multiple, then you start seeing how wild it really is. So I do like that about great gi. But I was saying the same thing to Karyn.
Yep.
No gi is more of a scramble, it's more of a cardio. Like if you can outpace them, then you can beat someone who has a lot more like technical skill than you, or someone who's just like, your same level, but you're just able to run circles around them. So that's why I like no gi too for MMA.
Don't like to get slowed down at all, and I like creating scrambles. I like creating movement and all that, and vice versa is how you beat me. Is just shut my game down, slow me down completely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no gi makes way more sense for MMA. I totally get it. I'm just saying, like, I'm fascinated by the strategy of using.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Hey,
if you grab
that
stuff, it's so much more control, and it's like it really is kind of like. I don't know, like if I was hugging you, if I put my arm around you, Angela, I would grab your collar right away, like just instinctually, I'd let you know. It's like, oh, hey, what's up? Boom, quick little. You know how when you hug someone, you get underhooks and stuff as a fighter, like
you just like start.
You guys think about underhooks
like
when you're hugging somebody? That's hilarious.
Yeah. I've never hugging battle. No date. Grandparents, they're getting underhooks.
They're getting like lat dropped.
Well, and especially Angie worked with Dominic, so Dominic is all about the hooks.
Oh yeah, he loved always the underhooks. I bet if you hug Dominic, you can't get an underhook on him. He's always just gonna fight it and just be like, yeah, we're friends.
Yeah.
Hey, so listen, big fight for you this weekend. You're fighting Bontarine. You are currently ranked number 5. He is currently ranked number 7. What did you think when this matchup came? Because obviously you're trying to move forward, and we hear a lot of the time people don't want to fight behind them and fight below them, and you want to secure your place and stuff like that. So what did you make of the offer for this fight?
I feel like for me, I've had a quick career, so it's like I want to kind of go back a little, not like go back completely. I definitely want a title shot as soon as possible, but like go back one and earn my pay wages up mainly, but like vice versa, just get some experiences. Like I don't have any like cage experience compared to some of these guys. I go against Pantoja, who's been in the UFC for the last 5 years or so, and it's like this is my third fight in that year, so it's like whatever it is, I think I need a lot more experience, and I was kind of excited about it. I was excited to walk second, all that stuff, man. And I feel like so far in my career, it's just been like everybody's expecting me to get my ass whooped. Where it's like now it's kind of like a quick little turnaround where it's like I can come out second, I can like have that overdog little bit of thing. And on top of that, I want like a black UFC shirt. So it's like I've been wanting one of those. I'm too dirty wearing my white one around, so it's like I need as soon as possible.
I love that. I love the black UFC shirt. I hate when they give me white. It's like every time. I'm like, look at my face. I have to wear a little makeup every now and then. I'm going to get a little
white
brown.
Looks good. It radiates. It looks good on you.
Not when you have to put it on for the photos and they did your face and then I get the little white smear and then Heidi gets mad at me. But yeah, I love that you're thinking that way because you came onto the UFC like a storm. Like nobody knew who you were. You beat Tim Elliott. You beat Kai Kara France, and he's on a tear right now. And then you fought Moreno, and it was just like you were just impressing every fight, win or lose. And it's hard sometimes for a fighter to see that, yeah, I'm doing great in these fights, but maybe I could do better if I had more experience at this higher level, if I just enjoyed the ride a little bit more instead of just rushing to the title fight. And I think that, like, I kind of had that problem too, where you're always taking the toughest fights, you're always fighting the toughest people. You just got in the UFC, you're not really making that much, but you want the opportunity because you believe in yourself. And I think that's really cool of you because I totally believe you are gonna be future champ at some point. Like if everything falls in the right way, like it's there's a bit of luck there too, but a lot of when it comes to like skill and technique, you totally have what it takes. So it's good to hear that you want to slow it down a bit. And what made you kind of start thinking that way? Because were you thinking that in your last fight, or was this a new thing you came across?
Well, it was just one of those things that things are happening so quickly that it was like, might as well just win a bout and then I'll start getting paid properly and then I'll start getting and all that. Like, that then go back almost at this point, because it's like every fight I was fighting with in my last 2 fights have been title contender fights, so it's like, man, if I win this fight, I'm fighting for a belt, I might as well not fight the next dude and then earn multiple fights to get this pay rate. Just might as well just go win a fucking belt and get it over with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a little bit of just like opportunities in front of me were just way too good to not do a common pep talk that I had was that I need to slow my career down from everybody. They're like, hey, just slow it down because I get that you want the next big fight. And even my manager, because I was told him as soon as I fought Tim Elliott, like, I'm going to call Kai Kara France. He was like, it was weird that it worked out, but I was like, I'm going to call Kai Kara France. And he's like, you're going to make me look like the worst manager ever. You're starting off the age, you're going to try to fight number 7 in the world. He's like, that's a horrible idea. He goes, let's work through this. But the opportunity came, man, and it was like, we're not going to say no to any of this. Like, we're 5 in the world right now. These opportunities.
Well, and I think that's when we first met, right? Over on Fight Island. I think that's when we first met. And it was such a great fight with Kai Kara France. And actually, I should have pulled it up here, but I sent you that picture, right? Because like you guys afterwards, because you guys got fight of the night. And I took this great picture because I was sitting out right there. And I took this, for folks who don't know, I took this great picture of Brandon and Kai like leaning over the cage talking to Dana. And you guys were both like, bro, it's fight of the night, right? And I was like, it's fight of the night. And it was so good and it was so cool. And Kai, like Angie said, Kai's on a tear. You guys are on a tear. Like, I think that's what's so fun about the flyweight division. The fact that it almost went away was a little bit scary, but you guys just keep proving fight after fight after fight why you totally belong in the UFC. So I know the strategy, like Tony Ferguson did the whole thing where he just took the next guy. And a lot of us were like, dude, why don't you just ask for the title shot? Like, you should ask for the title shot. And he's like, no, I want to work my way through it. And then we know, like, so some things for Tony haven't gone his way, but I really respect that idea of fighting your way through it. But at the same time, I'm like, well, shoot, if I can be the champ and then fight these other guys, like, why wouldn't I do that? I can't say I would have done what Tony did. I think I would have taken the opportunities if they were given. I would have asked for more. Like,
Yeah, it sucks too, because like could Tony have had a bout along the way? Like maybe he'd won a bout along the way
Right.
too.
Right.
A lot of us think that's a possibility, including me. It's like he could have been made some interesting matchups against those 55ers at a time. And it's like he kept getting whatever happened. It just seemed like he was on a streak forever though, you know. So
yeah, it was the cord. It was the cord.
I know, and I'm such a Tony Ferguson fan though. But I'm such a fan. I think he's awesome though. I do. Yeah. I really do.
He's awesome.
So listen, we got a ton of questions too, Ange. I don't know if you want to ask some of the questions or some of the things, but you know, I'm just looking at some of these things. Okay. So I know one thing I asked Brandon. So I did a little snooping around. Well, not snooping around, but I asked a mutual friend of ours about you, our good friend Anthony Lionheart Smith, who you train with and stuff. And he told me an interesting story. He said that you were Joe Warren's main training partner at one point, right? Kind of his only main training partner or something. And it says that he told me that you would like go to school and then you would rush to the gym for Joe's practices while he was winning world titles. And that you were kind of like, you know, like that was a big part of how you kind of learned or got more educated on the sport. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like I knew I could take a ass whooping at a time. Like I was southpaw, like jujitsu kind of. I thought I was a striker. I wasn't really that good at the time, but like more of a jujitsu type of player off my back. And everybody was fighting was like a Brazilian, like striker, southpaw, jujitsu person. And like I'm not going to say no to the opportunity to train with Joe Warren, especially at the time, and especially knowing I had no credentials at all. It was like, yeah, we're going to take this opportunity. But it was that. It was like I went to college like right out of high school for like a year or two. It was like I was a full-time student, working full-time, all that stuff, and then just I didn't have a license at the time, or maybe I had it at that time, but I was riding my bike to go train with Joe Warren without sleeping and stuff. So it was cool. It's funny because like even before then, there was like a time where like when I was in high school, I had my last 2 periods off, and then I'd ditch weight training and lunch, or like I would leave during lunch. So I had weight training, lunch, and then the last 2 periods off. I ditched weight training, and one day we're in the middle of jiu-jitsu class, like 11 a.m. or whatever the hell it is. We're at 11 a.m. and they're like, "Are you supposed to be in school right now?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, for sure. I'm supposed to be in school." So I had a lot of fun just being a kid in a room full of adults, being able to just hang out with them and learn from them and all that stuff.
I bet.
That's awesome. I always say, like, even when I was just doing Muay Thai, I was always just like, man, I could never do this while I was in school because I just wouldn't go to school. Like, this is too fun. I feel like I'm learning like better life lessons in the gym than I am in school, like sitting at a desk, like doing like art history and shit. So I have a lot of respect for you for being able to go to school those years and still train.
I would sit with the laptop and just like watch my opponents all day, like my opponents, Nick Diaz highlight reels, like a bunch of stuff all day, and like it's probably like better at MMA because I would just think of strategies and all that. It was such a waste of time. I was like in between like 3 different dreams, and not like in the middle of it, I was just like, this is dumb. Like I need to be an MMA fighter. And then Joe was like telling me every day, he's like, you need to drop out of school. This is what you need to do.
Thanks, Joe.
What a great role model.
I know. I mean, it's working out, but I would say, you know, education is important too, Brandon.
And that's what I was telling him too, is just like at the time too, is like you don't have any like grasp on the future, or like I had no idea like what was really going to come. So like to me is the most important life at that time, and the most important thing that I could have been doing was being Joe Warren's main training partner, you know? So to me it was like cool enough. Like if this is where my life ends, I'm gonna tell my kids, I was like, oh yeah, I helped this guy win a Bellator bout. Like I got my ass whipped every day, but it was like that's what I thought my life was gonna be, you know? It's just
well, Joe's cool. I mean, it's great. It's awesome. It's a great education for you, for sure. But so you're a Factory X guy though now, right? You've been there for a while.
Yeah, just ever since I've been Mark since I was 16, so been there forever, man.
Well, and Mark is great, and he's done such good things. Like, why do you think that's the right environment for you?
I think it's like it's like 1 and 2. Like for me, it's just home. You know, it's everything. It's like for me, having a cornerman's like awesome and all that stuff. Such an educate. I'm so lucky to just go to Mark, already be there. Like I probably would have stuck loyal to anybody, but it's like that guy's so fucking such a genius and all that. And it's like for me, I'm like I feel like most fighters, I go to war with my family. You know, I literally go to war with I watched his kids grow up. I watched my jiu-jitsu coach I've been training with since I was 16. My mitt holder I've known since I was 16 years old. And it's like, what's realer than that? You know, what's realer than all that? I know that they're pushing my career in the right place. You know, I know that they have my best interest in mind, and I know that my life affects their life on a daily basis, and vice versa. You know, I want to be the first Factory X belt holder, and I don't care about being the first one, but it's like I feel like I owe that to them. It's to bring them home a belt, you know, and for me, it's just like it's family, and then it's just the perfect environment too. It's like I help build that school up in a sense in my head. Like when I think about it, it's like I help too. Is like when you think of like the lightweights or the smaller guys there, is like I was small training 155 versus my main training partners, and then it's like when I was winning fights, then I'd get some more training partners, and like when I got to the UFC, then a bunch of people want to start training with us, and it's like I like when you say Factory X or you think of Factory X, you think of me, you think of Anthony Smith, you think of Yusuf Salah. And like I am Factory X. Like that is my gym too. That's my home, and that's part of me, you know. So it's like I don't know any different. There's like part of that too. Is like I don't know any different, you know. Like I know the directions to the gym in my house, and that's it, you know. Like,
that's awesome. It's really cool to have that confidence in your gym, to be able to have that history as well. And when you have that family environment, you don't really see that often, especially now after COVID kind of destroyed a lot of big gyms. And Factory X is one of the ones that are still grinding, still going well, and still having a lot of wins in their category. But I do have a question for you from one of my Instagram bros. His name is The Ugly Face, and he asked, do you have any pre-fight rituals, mantras, music, breathing exercises, anything like that you like to do before your fight, maybe the day of or maybe the week of, to get you in the zone, get your mind right, anything like that?
I don't have a ritual, but I feel like I have a process that I go through, and it's like have you ever heard, like in psychology, the one year I took college. And this is the thing I learned from it. You go through stages of grief, you know, and I feel like I always go through those. Like at the fight, I'm like, nah, I don't believe it, and like whatever the stages of grief, I go through all of it until like I walk out into that cage and I'm like, fuck it, I accept it. Like whatever it is, like I accept this, I accept my faith and all that. But first, it's like denial. Like this isn't gonna happen. Like boxing, test spot, whatever it is, you know, like this fight's not happening, you know, and. Then it's like I get pissed off and I'm like, this motherfucker wants to take my dreams away, you know. Like, and like I have to like work through grief a little bit, which is weird, but it's always like the moment I don't give a fuck what happens to me. I can go fucking get my ass whipped out there. I could care less. But it's like I've accepted it, and I know that I'm gonna go out there and do my best. And it's like it's a weird little process, but I've always dealt with it. You know, it's always the same thing. It's always like a fucking. I go through A, B, C, D, and then finally it's just like, fuck it. Whatever happens, happens. I don't care if I get my ass whipped.
Well, that's really interesting because the fact that you accept the idea. So you basically accept the idea that it might not go your way before you go out there, right? Because you've heard some people say like, oh, you should never even think about it not going your way. And I feel like you're being way more realistic, and like I might win, I might not, but I'm gonna do what I can. Like to me, that seems okay. But some people say like you should never even accept the option of defeat before you go out there.
Yeah. To me, it's just like I just don't give a fuck. Like that, you can see it in my like you can see it when I fight. It's just like I don't give a
yeah, we can.
I love that.
That's why you're awesome.
And like that's what I do. Like no matter what, I want to be the more dangerous, scarier fighter in there. So I always want to do maybe reckless, borderline like reckless, stupid shit. But it's like it might be like a flying knee or some shit where it's like, okay, like I want to just know that, like have a little bit more fear. I don't know, man. Sometimes it pans out. Sometimes it fucks up. Sometimes I walk into punches. I don't know.
Well, that brings me into my other question, and this is my question to you because you've never gone to distance in your fights, and I kind of have a reputation of going to distance and then shit doesn't go my way, even though I thought it should have. What is your key, if you have any, to finishing a fight? Is it this don't give a fuck mentality, or?
I think one of the biggest keys to me getting finishes in fights is just being good off my back. I go forward and I threaten a lot on my feet, and I think I overwhelm people for the most part, and that leads to like a takedown. People like shoot in recklessly or just.
Oh no, I can't hear you.
You're going in and out. I know, Brandon. You're going in and out with your audio.
Okay, you guys got me now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I
we
got
you.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah.
So you were saying, yeah, you don't give a F attitude.
Yeah.
And being good off your back.
And being good off your back.
I was bored and you know, I threaten a lot off my back, so it's like I'm kind of attacking everywhere, you know. So it's like the moment I get taken down is I'm already going on to my next threat, which is the neck or the arms or whatever it is. So it's like I just stay attacking, you know, and that's really like my main goal too. Is when I go out there, is just whatever it is, I'm threatening something, you know. I want them to fear something.
Well, and I feel like too that's a thing that the lighter weight classes are able to do way more. Like I always use the same reference, but when I talk about flyweights, I'm like, I love them because it's like cats in a bag fighting. Like you guys don't slow down. The pace is the same at the beginning of the fight as it is in the last round. And that's the thing that was so kind of upsetting when the idea that the weight class wouldn't be in the UFC anymore. It's like, well, I get that people like watching the big heavyweights and stuff like this, but you guys do so much work and there's so much technical acumen. They're so, I don't know, man. I feel like in a lot of ways, your class is so highly competitive more than others.
Yeah. And then for us, think of what we have to overcome. And like Angela will know too, is just to be a smaller weight fighter is 55, 70, all of it. Like you have to grow technically, and you have to be more like technically superior. Otherwise, I'm gonna get chased out of every gym I've ever been in, you know. And it's like now because there's a bunch of 125ers, but like when I was younger, like I was the only 125er, 135er there was in the state probably. Like it was me, 55ers, 45ers, 30, you know, all the above. And it's like you have to get better. And it's like, if I'm going to compete with that guy, I better have some fucking tricks up my sleeve. I better have some crafty stuff, and I better be quick and in and out, and I better be technical as shit. And those guys can get away with stuff like that. It's like they have that problem solver where I don't. Like I have to do something technically, and I'm going to have to do something a little bit wittier, you know? So I think that
for sure.
Yeah, I always say the same thing about the strawweight division. Yo, represent. We have the most stacked weight class in the UFC because if you look at the bantamweights, it's definitely a difference in the skill. You know, like you have people who can get away with just being big, just being good wrestlers, just being hard hitters. But in strawweight, like everyone does everything well, or everyone is scrappy everywhere because you have to be. And if you're not scrappy, you just end up getting smashed down. So totally feel what you're talking about. And let's go to the chat real quick because we have Rob MCG on YouTube. He has a question. He knows that you and Corey Sandhagen are both from Colorado. Have you ever sparred or trained together? Just wondering.
Never sparred or trained together, but I run into that guy constantly, like for years. So it's like really
he's so great
to watch him like do what he's done. But it's just cool because I bounce ideas off of him. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh yeah, what are you reading? Like trying to steal book ideas from him, all that stuff. I like having elevation, right? Like Factor X and elevation are maybe like 2 miles away from each other, which is crazy.
Ah, nice.
I love having that gym right next to us because like those guys are all really good, and like there's no flyweight problems between. Like I don't think they have any flyweights at their gym, so there's no issues with them. So it's like a lot of ideas off those guys. I get to talk to them, and there's like no animosity or anything of that sort. So it's cool. And like I said, I'm a huge Corey Sandhagen fan. It's probably my favorite fighter in the UFC. So I mean, it's awesome like knowing him and like having somewhat of a personal relationship. It's not like I know him really well, but it's like every time I see him, I get to talk to him, you know. So it's cool.
He's great. Awesome. He's so good. Did you guys ever do like smokers between gyms or anything?
No, never. Nothing like that. No, nothing like that. We had like plenty of cards where it's like all Factor X fighters versus all Team Elevation fighters, but it was never. It was never like or it was never like intended to be that way. It was just but like LFA comes to town and it's us. It's usually us versus them, or it's us versus. What's that? Winklejohn or not Winklejohn? Jackson's? Yeah.
Yeah, Jackson Wink. Yeah.
But,
well, you know, Brandon, while we're on the Colorado conversation, you know what I'm about to ask you.
Yeah.
So folks who know South Park and the whole Casa Bonita episode.
Oh,
Brandon and I were cracking up about Casa Bonita out in Fight Island, right? Because I think the place is disgusting and you love it.
No, I don't love it. Your husband, I hate that.
Yeah, he did. No, you're right. You agreed you didn't like it because it's gross.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's literally the worst food in Mexican food. They're getting upgraded, but
oh man,
go to Casa Bonita for the show and then the sopapillas. If you go there for the food,
Right. So for folks who don't know, it's like this cafeteria with disgusting food. And like you said, the sopapilla is the only thing. It's like your worst 5th grade cafeteria disgusting food that they try to pass off as Mexican food.
Mexican night.
Right, but people go there because there's like a guy diving and there's Black Bart's cave and like the whole, if you have never seen the Casa Bonita episode of South Park, it's friggin' hilarious.
That episode.
Because Cartman wants to go to the birthday party there so bad. But it's the grossest place on the planet. And didn't it get like shut down, or it was gonna get shut down, and then like people paid for it to get like to keep it as a historic.
On South Park that happened.
Yeah. So it was getting shut down, and which it should get shut down. Honestly,
it should get contaminated, like burned to the ground.
Man.
I don't know if someone's died in that pool yet diving, but it's just
God,
time. It's super unsafe. All the above. But the owners of South Park bought it back, and they're hiring some lady to open up like actual like real good food in there. So
wow.
So Matt and Trey bought it then.
Yeah. Matt and Trey bought it from the guys from South Park, and I'm sure from it. I grew up like right down the street from it, so it's like I don't know, man. It's gonna be easy to just kind of go like I don't know. I'm gonna go there just for the visit a bunch of times. I'm sure. It's like
well, make sure you take pictures and send them to me when you go, because I want to see it. If they elevate their game, that's one thing, but because otherwise that place was the most disgusting place on the planet.
No, better Mexican food and all that stuff, but I don't know, man. I don't know how they're gonna keep that alive. All the restaurants are closing out here, sadly. So.
Right. Hey, Ange, you had a bunch of other questions too from Twitter, right? Because from Twitch rather. You sent me some.
Well, this is also a question from me. Who's your favorite Warriors character? I saw your little costume.
Oh yeah.
I saw your little costume for Halloween, and I just wanted to see your costume and raise you my walkout outfit on one of my Invictus shows.
Yes. So Warrior. I need 3 beer bottles. I should Warriors.
Yeah.
Come out and play. Yay.
But Ajax, I feel like I always like in like the Red Ninja Turtle, everything is like I always like the hothead in the movie.
Yeah.
This is like my favorite, like I don't know, kung fu guy. He's such a hothead, So the hotheads, besides him being like a weirdo at the end, I don't condone that shit, but.
Well, now I feel like I should be like. Warriors, like
yes, you would make such a good.
Right.
What is she like? She's like the queen of the night. Or something.
And it's so Warrior. Well, and to be honest, did you know there's actually they do a Warriors run? A friend of mine is going to do it, or I don't know if it happened already, or if I think it's upcoming. There's like a Warriors run that you can do through New York, where you run through and people do it in costume and stuff like that. Like I said.
Show everyone
so
in the chat
good.
How good your costume was. This is a good fucking costume.
Dude, you killed it.
Is what I did for Western Day, like yesterday. Is I just put on a cowboy hat and I went as like I was trying to go as the Mexican Young Gun character,
Nice.
Yeah, but Coach Ice is another good one. Is like I think Coach
that
Ice
was my favorite.
Cool, he's just the coolest. But
I like the gang that they're all dressed up as the Yankees and they got their bats and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of my coach who cornered me, he had like the the Baseball Furies. Yeah, he had the Baseball Furies outfit on. They did rash guards for Scramble brand, that company out in the UK. They did like a whole Warriors rash guard series, and they did Baseball Furies and Warriors and all these other ones. It was pretty cool.
Can you dig it? Yes! Gosh damn it, I'm gonna have to watch that movie again. It's so freaking good.
Nice.
That is my favorite.
Oh my god, I love Warriors so much. Oh my god. Wow, I haven't watched it in a couple of years. It's one of those that like whenever it's on though, like you gotta watch, right? Like you can't go past it. Okay,
sure.
wait. So
what were you saying, Brandon?
Street Fight Rituals. I watched the Warriors, and then I watched as many I watched the Chinese Connections, my favorite one, but I try to watch as many Bruce Lee movies. But that is my Street Fight. I forgot about that. I do that before every fight. Watch the Warriors, and then I try to watch as many. Yeah, but that's it.
Like the night before, or like hours, or like in the locker room.
The day of, I wake up and
I'm
watch
gonna
it.
try that. I'm gonna try that next fight. Legit. I'm gonna try that. That's awesome.
Solid. So wait, so are you, and I guess these came in off of Angie's Twitch, right? Do you play Twitch? I mean, do you play Twitch? Do you play chess? Somebody was asking if you'd
Yeah.
watch Queen's Gambit. Are you a chess player?
And I always try to play chess with like my uncles and stuff, and they're the ones. So I try to, but I'm getting better though. Like I'm starting to put up games. I used to just get fucked up right away, but I'm getting better.
Yeah, I heard I mean you already touched on it, but you said in this next fight you want to be more of a chess master than just going ham. And I was wondering if that came from actually playing chess or not.
No, I just think that's like a good way to just being more strategic.
Okay.
More strategic, a little less wild, a little bit less of a chaotic Bruce Lee type, and more of like, just a cool collective Coach Ice type, less HF.
But it's interesting though, because the the wildness and the scramble ability, the unpredictable, like that's what got you to number 5 though. Like I understand the need to be more refined sometimes, because when you're getting, you're up in the highest echelon now and you can't afford to make mistakes, but at the same time, that's what got you there. And so you don't want to go too far away from your bread and butter. That's who you are,
Yeah. Isn't that the weird, like, is it poetic justice or like the Greek mythology story is what makes you great is what's going to always be your downfall in a sense too. It's just it's just finding that fine balance of when to be chaotic, when to pull back a little bit, and when to raise out. And I feel like I'm capable of just calming myself down. I don't need to go out there and be chaotic 100% of the time. Sometimes it's like against Pantoja, the first round, go be chaotic, gas and on. Second round, go be methodical, go be a sniper, go be a chess player, and go out there and get a job done. I don't need to go be chaotic the whole entire fight. It's like, all right, I already needed to accomplish what I accomplished, and he's tired, and let's go pick him apart and win a fight. And let's do it that way. I don't need to go out there and put myself in danger and throw the fight away.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, in your Tim Elliott fight too, I felt like, sorry, Karyn, to cut you off.
No.
But
go ahead.
Yeah, in your Tim Elliott too, I felt like you were very calm in that fight, despite the amount of pressure he was like giving you and going for takedowns over and over again. I felt like you handled that whole situation very well, to the point where he gassed himself out and you didn't gas yourself out defending his just like his attack on attack on attack. You looked very calm in there. You looked like a veteran, just waited for your time to attack.
Yeah. And in that one, like, specifically, is I could hear him breathing. Is I can hear Tim and like kind of like all that, and like in the middle of it, I could hear him breathing heavily, and I was like, "Ooh, he's okay." There's no way. I remember like after the first round or in the middle of the first round, I was like, "There's no way I lose this fight, second and third round. Like, there's no way." I can hear him breathing. I can hear him just exerting energy and all that stuff, and it's weird because like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of it's maturity, a little bit it's like I want to learn how to do like I'm trying to meditate and stuff, so it's like I've gotten better at rhythms and all that stuff. But it's like I heard, like, I could hear Karyn Bryant after me and him, like we both dropped each other, but I could hear him when we were on the ground just like squeezing extra hard on something that he's on or whatever it is, and like I'm like, oh, he's exerting way too much energy, and like I was being the more cooler, collected person in my head at least, but it's like my feet weren't doing what my head and like what my body was. I was breathing fine, but my feet were like, let's go forward, I guess we're pedal to the metal, so it's like if I can just calm myself down a little bit more, I think that's a lot better stuff and a lot cleaner. And honestly, it's going to keep me a little bit more out of danger. It's like I can land these shots without being right in front of some dude that's 5'3's face. I should probably land it from, I don't know, a 5'9 radius.
Yeah. Totally.
I love it. It's so cool to think like, you're so close to getting a shot. And I am curious what your take is on the trilogy fight between Brandon and Davison. Like, who do you think is going to win that one?
Yeah, I don't know who I'm going to, like, who's going to win it. If I was going to take a bet, if I was a betting man, I would bet Moreno, just because, I don't know, that last fight just seemed so decisive, but who really knows what went on through his head, Figgy's head. I was there, I watched the fight around his, and he didn't do anything. So I don't know, maybe something this fight. We'll see what happens, but it's definitely gonna be closer than the last fight. But I don't know. I see Moreno winning if I'm a betting man, and if I was just like, like Moreno as a champion's pretty fucking sweet. I was like, besides me having to fight him and him like, you know, that bullshit is
he's such a good kid. He's so, you can't not like him. Like you just can't.
And I don't know, it just you want to see good things happen to a guy like that, right? And it's hard to like root against a guy like that.
Agreed.
For sure. Unless you're fighting him.
Yeah.
Unless you're fighting him. Unless you're fighting him.
Fighting him, and then, you know, then it's easy to pick a reason.
That's funny. Do you play, because we're streaming on my Twitch channel as well, do you play any video games?
Call of Duty, your boy is
Oh,
good, bro. Yeah, ever since I got into the UFC, I had a PlayStation, but I never used it until I got into the UFC. And once I quit my job, I tried it out a little bit, and then now me and the boys, that's like me and the Factor X team, we have like a squad, and we do good together, man. It's
that's awesome. That's awesome. It's all about communication, right?
Oh, it makes us way more of a team. I call them all by their nicknames, their code names and stuff, and most of it is our fight names. Like mine's is my fight name. I shouldn't be airing that out too much, but mine's is my fight name. All their fight name too, so it's hilarious. So in the gym, if their name isn't their fight name or whatever, I'm calling them by their PlayStation name.
Yeah, their tag name. That's awesome.
But it's the only game I own, and it's the only game I play, so it's fun.
Nice. Do you have like the full one, or do you just play Warzone? Or
I just play Warzone. I mean, I just I play the live version of it. Like I've never played the story mode or anything. It's just I talk shit and, you know, try not to get killed, pretty much.
It's fun. That's really fun. I always try to get the team to play, and they're like, nobody plays like first-person shooters for some reason. I don't know why. They're all like,
listen, if I could have secured a PS5, I could try to play with you.
We can squad up.
We could totally squad up. I'm garbage at video games. I should just tell you that. Unless it's like Dance Dance Revolution or Centipede, those I could kill on. But like, but I want to get in on this stuff. And my kid plays games, and she's playing, you know, these different things on her Switch and stuff like that. Because I was trying to get a PS5, but like Angie, Brandon, I'll squad up with you guys. I mean. I'll be the first. I'll go out. I'll be the sentry that gets killed first. I'll take the hit for you guys, since I'm crap at those games anyway.
Someone else to be the worst player, so I'm cool with that, honestly.
Worst player because I'm a button masher. I get like stressed out. I couldn't even play Tiny Planet that well with her before, and I was like, I'd get all stressed out.
Tiny Planet. My problem is, as soon as I see someone, I'll land the first shot, and then the other shots go to the ceiling. I'm like, oh, there he is. So that's my problem. But I'm usually the best on the squad, which means
really?
All my
because I was good at the ones at the arcade, you know, where like you're killing the zombies, and then like, you know how you have to go off screen and like reload and stuff like that, like that kind of crap. I'm good at shooting like that, so I actually might be okay at Call of Duty. I like blowing people away. I'm gonna
get you that PS5.
And I just follow him around, and then once he gets killed, I'll go shoot the people he already almost has down. You know what I'm saying? So I get the kill.
There you go.
Provide.
And then pick him up.
Yeah. Be a hero, you know. It's all. Hey, I saved you, Yusuf. Take these in my practice day, you know.
As long as we don't end up in the gulag, we're good.
In the gulag. All right. Okay. So here's here's some more questions that came in. People are saying, and this is kind of like what we were talking about before with the Joe Warren thing, that you got such an early start in MMA if you were already like just going to school and then going to the gym to train with Joe Warren. But were there other, you know, careers you thought you would pursue? You know, Angie is a great graphic artist. So was there something like you would have done if this didn't work out for you?
I mean, like before that, I was working at a youth facility. I was working like social services with like youth and stuff that are in trouble with like juvies and all that.
That was so cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's weird now because like a lot of them are out, and it's like I don't know. Denver hasn't been doing the best with like gangs and stuff lately, and you see some of these kids like reoffend or like mainly just getting shot is
over in 4 points.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 5 points. No, that 5 points.
5 points.
Yeah, 5 points. It's like super nice neighborhood now, at least kind of to a degree. You know, the neighborhood kind of still stays the same a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. It's just been it's an emotional roller coaster, but it's by far my favorite job, and I'll always go back to that job. And I still try to maintain like relationships and communication with the facility and all that stuff, and try to volunteer and do all the stuff I can. But that's where I see myself in the future, is going back to something like. kids. And
that is so cool. I don't know if you know Cub Swanson at all, but Cub's a guy that if you don't know him personally, like you guys, you should get in touch with him because he was actually in juvie himself, out in like the Palm Springs area. Wow. And he, for those who don't know, I'm gonna do a quick little ad, but we had him on Tuesday Night Festivities last weekend, so people can see that here on my YouTube channel as well. But Cub is a guy who went to juvie and all this stuff, and he said that while he was there, he realized he was like, wait a minute, I do not belong here, and he was able to get himself out. He was smart, and all that. And now he also speaks to, youth, troubled youth, and has really done a lot to do outreach to help people as well. Like you guys could team up on some really badass stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah.
There's people like our gyms, like our gym and like what Mark has us doing. He has doing a lot of community work too. So not a lot, but we do at least some community stuff. So I've been that's how I've been able to make a lot of my communications and meeting through people is through Mark and the programs that he already has going through with us.
Cool. He's such a good dude. Yeah. Mark is such a good dude. I had a really great conversation with him after Anthony's last fight. When he won his fight, I went over to his after party. But Angie, I think, was that the night you were at High Rollers? Because I went over after High Rollers. I reeked so bad. And I showed up. I'm like, what up, Mark? What up, Anthony? And some they were like, yo, where you been? You know how like on the Peanuts gang, how Pigpen has that like the dirt smoke that follows him around?
Yeah.
Like, I had like a cloud of High Rollers on me, and they were like, hey,
it sticks to the hair too. It sticks to when you got curly hair, that shit is on there. Yeah.
Forever. But I had such a great conversation with Mark. He's such a good guy and he has such a good energy. Like he definitely does strike me as the kind of coach that it would be really easy to work with.
Yeah, for sure. And like for Mark, one of the important things to him is he's constantly learning and he's like one of those inspirational dudes. So it's like he constantly has like an amazing speech after every practice and like we're all motivated.
Nice.
Ready to run through walls and no matter what, So it is that. It's like when you have a good guy like that with like good intentions and all of the above, is just like it's easy to want to run through a wall and like whatever he says is just like I feel like I'm a soldier just listening to his commands, and it's easy to listen to a guy when you trust him and know him,
For sure. I just watched Ted Lasso, and he totally it's like the embodiment of that type of coach. Like the whole premise is that he comes from American football to teach soccer in the UK, so football still, but he's going to coach like the soccer team, and he doesn't know the sport that well, but he just embodies that. Like he's able to rev up the team. He's able to just get them running through walls, get them like scoring goals and everything. And that's so important to have. And a lot of coaches, they have all the skill, all the technique, but they don't have that part that gets people motivated. And so it's really cool to hear that.
Yeah, pull people together as a team too,
Mm-hmm.
As it is like, I was thinking this the other day too, is like when I saw Sean Strickland knock out his opponent or his like do you know that guy well? Because it's like
I don't, but that video they were in a boxing ring.
Oh, okay. You saw
is that the video you're talking about?
Some dude all nasty.
Yeah, so Sean Strickland is the epitome of someone who doesn't have a team. So he bounces around to different gyms, and he'll show up, he'll like hit up a gym and be like, hey, can I get some sparring in? And if they oblige, then he'll show up and he'll usually try to hurt someone. So it's not really cool to me. Like I feel like a team should be a family as well. You take care of your training partners.
If you hurt your training partner, you hurt someone that's going to help you out for your camp. You hurt someone that you care for, and you hurt someone that their career path and where they want to be. And it's like, if I hurt, I have a training partner who helped me mainly for this, like one of my main training partners, Luis Carullo. If I hurt him, then he's out for sparring, then I'll have some dude to act like Bontarine for me, and he's selfless. Bontarine. It's not necessarily his style, but he's selflessly sacrificing his style because he cares for me and he wants me to win this fight. So it's like, as a team, he's doing what I need him to do and taking his ego out completely by acting like Bontarine and taking what he's good at and what he does amazingly. And then vice versa, I'm not fucking knocking him in the head every chance I get because I love that dude. And vice versa, he's not doing it to me because he wants to see me fight and I want to see him fight. And it's like, if I can cuss my teammate and knock him out and then post it on the internet, by the way, which is also fucked up, is like, then I have to see my teammate sit on the sidelines for months, I have to see a friend sit on the side for months, and that like his career impacts my career, not only like literally, but like also it just impacts me because he's my friend, you know, and it's a dude I care about, and it's someone I want to see, and it's like that's a team to me, you know, that's love, that's a family, you know, and like I want to see him get better because I care about him, not because fucking it means anything to my career, you know.
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't kick Anthony Smith's ass every week?
No.
Give me some dirt on Lionheart, because you know what I mean. Come on, he's such a great guy. You know that's my homie. You know I love that dude so much. I love that dude. But come on, there's got to be some dish you got on Anthony.
No, not at all, man. He's great. He's one of those people. It's nice to watch him train too, because he trains like a beast, man. He's a hard worker and all the above stuff. Like, it's cool to have some dude with that energy in the room, and like it's like weird to think of myself as top 5 now, but like a top 5 fighter like that is like when I see him, it's just like whoa, like that's it, you know. It's like that was like another point. It's like before I got to UFC, I'm like telling people like, yeah, I know Anthony Smith, you know, like I know that guy. Like potentially the coolest part of my life was knowing him at a time, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I have one more question for you, and then I don't want to keep you too much longer since it's your fight week.
I know it's fight week, Angie. You can. I'll talk to him all night, but you can respect the fact that he's got
I'm like, this kid has your arm is probably tired.
Like, so anyway, like, what's your favorite color?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out.
But I will say this: P. Brown is saying Royval is legit. And this and stuff like that. So, you know, I think a lot of people are behind you already. Like, that's what is cool. You know, you were saying how you kind of got here fast and you're making a fast rise. And I have, you know, there are some people that, where you're just like, let's say, Yuri Prohashka, for example, right? Like, he comes in the UFC, he's going to have a couple of fights and he's probably going to a title fight. And on the one hand, you're sort of like, wait, who's this dude? Like, I want to get to know him a little bit better. But I think at this point, Brandon, like, you've done some great fights. You've already shown out. You've done some cool things. Like, if you get this win on Saturday, if I'm you, I would take that mic and be title shot, baby. Like, give me the winner of Brandon and Davison, because like, you've done so many great things. You can back it up. I mean, bro, ask for it.
Yeah. Or you could call out the loser.
But I definitely want the loser of the fight. Whoever loses that fight, I think is more of an option. And you know. For me too, it's like I don't want my first title fight to be in front of a crowd, or my first fight in front of a crowd to be a title fight. You know, it's like I want to fight. Crowd before.
Oh my God, that's crazy, right? Because between Fight Island and Apex, you haven't had a crowd.
Yeah,
never fought in front of anybody, so it's like I don't want to just walk out fighting some stud in front of a crowd about to shit my pants in the main event.
Damn, I didn't think of that. You're right, though.
I've been in COVID times for years, so it's like I haven't seen this many people in a long time, let alone
that's when you broke into the scene.
Well, for people who don't know, for the context, Davison is ranked number 1. Askar Askarov is number 2. Pantoja is number 3. Then Alex Perez, then you. So, I mean, you're right real close, bro.
You're right there. I would just like chill, win and chill, you know, win and chill, kick your feet up and get ready. So I did find that tweet. It was from CTID_Mitch on Twitter, and he wanted to know about he wanted me to ask you about speaking to a humble Colby Covington.
Yeah, what is that?
It wasn't me. It was never me. Ask him.
I didn't know the reference. I was like, what is this about?
Okay. Yeah, so there's a picture of it looks like, man, I can't even. When I saw it,
there's articles citing you as the guy.
It wasn't you?
No, it's not me. Fucking Colby.
So wait, what had happened? The show is called What Had Happened Was. So Brandon Royval, what had happened with the Colby Covington?
There was another Mexican kid, and they all just assumed it was me.
Do you have any idea who it is?
No, not a clue. But one time I posted, I was like, "You guys got to quit fucking tagging me in this every time I post this stupid."
But
thing.
what happens in the video? What is he?
Okay, so some kid. It's some like kid walking up. He looks like me. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, he looks
okay.
Wait, let me try to pull it up. But go ahead.
And he's walking up to Colby. He's like, "Do you have any advice for my career?" And then Colby's like giving him, like, Colby is like being himself. You know, like a real like actual person. He's like, "Yeah,
just a normal dude, right?"
Serious, like, you need to love the sport, and like fucking great advice. But people started posting, they're like, "Look at Colby changed Brandon Royval's life," and it was like, that was not me at all. Like, it wasn't, but it's hilarious.
That's so funny. I'll have to look it up because I saw that tweet and I was like,
that much like you.
I missed it and I didn't see it
because I watched it and I was like, oh, he looks so much different without facial hair.
That does not look like you.
I don't think it looks like it, but I just went along with the tagline. I'm like, okay, I guess that was him. That's pretty cool coincidence.
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. So everyone heard it here. It is not Brandon Royval. It's some other Mexican kid. Quit being racist. This is
All
pretty
Mexicans
funny.
look alike.
I mean, I guess I see it. I have to see you without facial hair.
Usually my hair is way shorter and I do it, so I look kind of,
okay.
you know what I'm saying? So especially when I burst on the scene, I don't think I had any facial hair or any of that. So
okay.
Yeah,
sure.
no, you look like a sweet young kid that was like, "Can I fight for you, Mr. White?" You know what I mean? And it's great, and you made a great impact.
That's amazing. So did you take Colby's advice, even though it wasn't you?
For sure. I've been living Colby's advice. I love this sport, and he's absolutely right, man. It's just be obsessed, love the sport, and that's what's advice. I see people start making the Factor X fight team, and then they're like, okay, well, I did it, and then it's like, you need to do all those little extra basic classes. You stay in sport because it's like, this isn't it, man. If you stop doing all the extra shit 1 or 2 years in, like you're done for, because there's so much to learn. You're so far behind, like. Man, you love this sport with everything you have, because some motherfucker is, and he's gonna steamroll your ass if you're not,
Yeah. And like being one of the main people in the gym that's always there, like how many fighters do you see that should be coming in every day that aren't, like you see that a lot.
Before I made it, or before, like when I was working full time on stuff, like that was the hardest part I had with all of it. I'm like, damn, you guys don't even have to, some of you guys don't even have to work, and you guys aren't doing these classes. It's fucking incredible, and I don't know, man. It's one of those things that's like, treat this shit with love. Have you ever seen you guys all seen a Karate Kid where it's like, karate do, karate don't, karate no, kind of, where he's like, you got it, like if you walk on the tracks, you walk on the left side, you're safe. You walk on the right side, you're safe. You walk down the middle, you get squashed like a bug. And he goes, that's like fighting, because if you stay all the way in fighting, then you're safe. If you stay all the way out of fighting, you're safe. But if you're kind of teetering in the middle, is when you end up being a highlight reel,
Yeah.
Mr.
Advice.
So wise for a child. You're such a wise kid.
All kung fu movies and gangster flicks, man. That's where I learned all
Hey, we learned about loyalty from Warriors. He learned about stuff. No, it's great, and it's so true, and it's so cool, because like it's fun for us to see. It's exciting because you're a guy now that we're going to get to watch for the next 5 years. Like it's really cool to see, like you're already number 5 and you haven't even been here that long. Like you start to imagine like all the cool matchups you can do. And then you're like, okay. And then after he wins the title and defends it a couple times, then he's going to move up in a weight class and this and that. Like you have the world, like the world is your oyster, because that's the whole thing, is like starting at 25, you always know you have that other option of another weight class. And that's got to feel cool.
Yeah, especially like I'm 5'9", you know what I'm saying? I'm giant fucking flyweight. I'm the biggest flyweight there's ever been. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're towering over them.
Yeah, but I'm a small man. But bantamweight is an option, but I don't know. I like what I'm doing at flyweight right now.
And yeah, I'm no hurry. I'm just saying it's cool because as people get older, when they have a harder time cutting weight or whatever, and then it's just cool to know that you have that other option there too.
I do have one more question if you have time.
That's nice, but I do have time.
I know, and then we got to let him go.
Hey. Okay. Fuck. Now I'm fucking it up. Somebody asked me if you think that. Kev's your boy asked me, do you think that the UFC should eliminate weight cutting? I don't think it would ever happen, but like in an ideal world, would you rather not cut weight, or do you like weight cutting?
No, especially like this week and last week, or the holidays, man. I was just like, fuck cutting weight. Like so mad. But yeah, I would rather not cut weight because I don't have an option. But I only lose 10 pounds, so it's not much to cut. So it's like to fight down a division, but it's just like, God, I wish I could just be eating tamales today,
Do you love all the authentic Mexican food?
Oh yeah, that's all I eat, Mexican food. Way too much Mexican. And then just whatever I get my hands on,
Nice.
Well, and isn't Christmas tamale season?
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like Christmas. I missed all the tamale. That's like really what I was pissed about. It's tamale and green shit, and I missed all.
Damn. Sorry,
I feel bad for
it'll
you.
be worth
Tamales
it.
Are bomb, man.
They're so good. They are so good. Well, cool. Well, like you said, you're the co-main event this weekend, right?
I don't know. I have no clue what I am. Everybody I'm not close. I know I'm like right there. So
Let me see.
It's
I'll have to
actually
check.
the guy who talked to Covington. That's the guy who's the co-main
Yeah. That's my new nickname.
What is it?
The guy who's inspired by Kobe, Brandon Royval.
I called Brandon. I can hear Buff saying it now.
Yeah, it would
That's
roll off
funny.
his tongue.
That is funny. Well, listen, yeah, it is fight week. We know you already, like you said, you were talking to your folks before and all this stuff. We know you got a bunch of stuff to do, but really looking forward to seeing you fight. You're always so entertaining. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you to my sponsors, EAP Glass. You guys are amazing, and thank you guys for. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. See you, man. Good luck.
See ya. Oh, what a good
Yay.
kid.
Oh, we have such good guests, man.
What a good kid. And he's because I remember meeting him over on Fight Island, and I just loved his energy, and that fight with Kai was so good. And I remember talking to him like at the pool later and stuff like that. He's just a good dude. And then between Anthony and Mark and these guys always saying such nice things about him. Like, and like I'm saying, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, to me, it's really exciting to see young fighters at the beginning of their career and like on the cusp of so much greatness. And when you get to watch them for a while now, it's really cool.
I know, it's awesome. And I'm very surprised that he is more of a Raphael and more of an Ajax kind of guy because he's so nice. Like, he's so approachable. You would think that he would be more standoffish, like, I don't know. That's not me. That's not me in that Kobe video, but he's like very like chill and makes jokes. He's funny. He's just like, seems like a fun person to hang out with. So I love seeing people like that get what they deserve. He's just a hard worker, been grinding on his life. He's talented. I'm excited for him. I really
Me too. Could you imagine? Because I had different jobs in high school and like I worked at the mall, in a clothing store or whatever, but like it is kind of incredible to think that this kid's riding his bike after school to go get beat up by Joe Warren and just try to sponge off like as much information as you can get. That's just crazy.
I mean, that's youth right there. That's
right.
Being able to go from school on your bike, go get your ass kicked, ride your bike back home, go to school. Like that's all youth. Like once he gets past 30, I think those days will be long gone. But I'm happy that he had that experience where he could just see what it takes. When you see what it takes from an early age, and you get that envy, not envy like in a bad way, but you see like, oh man, I want to be like that. I want to do what he's doing. I want to be as cool as this guy that I'm training with. I want to be able to smash people like this guy is smashing me. And that gets you going. It really like, oh, sorry, my dog's squeaking.
I was like, what is that squeaking sound?
He has one of his little squeaky toys. I've ignored him for too long.
Cute.
But yeah, those are the things that really plant that seed in your head. Like, this is what it takes. This is what I'm going to do every day for the rest of my life. And then you see him explode onto the scene. Yeah, he's been training for 10 years. He's been training for 10 years, but when he gets into the UFC, it looks like he should have been there for a long time. So that's the coolest part about his whole journey.
Yeah. You know what, the interesting thing too that he was saying, and I'm sure obviously this comes up with you as well. It is very interesting, the whole idea of when to scramble, when to put the pedal to the metal, when to pull back. And that is something that I guess, obviously is considered a fight IQ thing that you learn more. But because you can't just go balls out all the time.
Yeah.
And you can't be too conservative either. Like it is it's a delicate balance for sure.
What I like about his career is that he waited. He didn't wait, but come here. The people want to see.
Come here, puppy.
Here he is.
Hi.
He's getting out of here.
Where's Butcher? Come on, Butcher.
Come here.
Oh,
here, buddy. You want
Butch.
it? You want it? Okay. He didn't necessarily want to wait, but that's how it ended up happening. And I think it was good for him to have that amount of time outside of the UFC. Oh, he's squeaking so hard.
He's killing me. It's so cute.
There's nobody here. And he had that amount of time to figure out his style and figure out how he wanted to be as a fighter. So now that he's in the UFC and he's fighting a little tougher competition, he's still doing well against them. Like who does well against Tim Elliott? Who does that well against Kai Kara France? And the reason is he developed his style and he had a lot of good bodies to practice on who were good, but they weren't like just stuffing him everywhere. You know, it was competitive and he was able to get a little better each time. And I think with people like me who first or second fight was in the UFC, you get stuffed a lot and you're not able to really develop your style. I didn't develop my style until I left the UFC and then came back.
Right.
So it's really important for any young fighters out there. It's really important to just get that experience outside of the UFC, outside of Bellator, outside of the big shows where you're fighting people constantly who are full-time fighters. And then you can really just figure out what you're good at, where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses, how to get incrementally better each time. And then when he gets onto the big show, he's just killing people. And everyone's like, who is this kid? Like this guy got in the UFC 2 years ago and he's in the top 5. How the fuck did that happen? You know, but
Totally.
it's like same thing with Kai Kara-France, same thing with Casey Kenny. Like all these kids have been grinding outside of UFC. I mean, part of it has to do with the pandemic, like just people needing short notice fights, them answering the call, but their technique, their skill was able to get them those wins and able to get them ranked. And it's really cool to see that happen. I think that was the one good thing in the MMA world that came with the pandemic is the fact that a lot of people who were about to give up, another guy who's a William Knight, he's another one of them. They were like right about to give up on their MMA career, and then they got the call because someone had to pull out because they got COVID or because they couldn't get to the US or whatever reason. And then you have this person who has this like fairy tale story of finally getting that call and being able to perform and then knocking it out of the park and becoming a UFC household name. So yeah, it's really cool to see people like that, especially when they're good people like Royval.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna look now. Now I gotta find it because that fight with Kai over on Fight Island was awesome. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like we were all like, this guy's a badass. Like we freaking love him. Like I became like instant fan. And oh wait, okay, is this it here? Where is it? No, and there. Oh, that was Giga.
And because because I'm such a big Tim Elliott fan, I didn't want to give him his props when he fought Tim Elliott. I was like, he got lucky. Tim just gassed himself out.
Really?
But then when he fought Kai, I was like, oh, okay. This guy's dope. And when he fought Moreno too, you know,
yes,
like, yeah, it didn't go his way, but that was like the first round of his fights are the equivalent of full fights for a lot of people. Like the action that happens in his fights. Like that's why he's such a fan favorite.
It's so true. And it's just like I said, I always use the same reference, but I always say like the flyweights are cats in a bag. And and mostly though, I love it because I gotta find this picture because the pace. They don't slow down, you know what I mean? And like to me, that is okay. Wait, which one were they on? Were they on the first Fight Island card or the second one? Sorry, I know this is totally interesting for people to be sitting here. But it was dang it.
I can read off some compliments. Nick Salvatore says Angela was robbed so hard.
Yeah,
in
you
her
were.
Last fight, I was absolutely dumbfounded at the decision. Yes, so was I. Thank you, Nick. Thanks for
it was some bull crap.
For supporting our
okay, so it was September 26th. Okay, so I'll find it now.
Ego.
I was looking at the July ones, but you did get robbed, and we're gonna fix that. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna fix it, but we gotta fix it.
I'm gonna do some grappling tournaments. I'm gonna sub some bitches, and I'm gonna do what Royval said. He said to attack from your back and attack everywhere. And I was happy he said that because that's exactly what I'm working on. Just being able to attack everywhere. Like I keep flashing to that first round and I'm like, oh, if I had passed instead of giving her space and let her come up, then maybe I could have gotten a sub from Mount or something. There's always things that you can work on. And even if you complain about getting robbed, that doesn't mean that you're not looking at what you could have done better. So I was happy Royval said that because I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do.
That makes sense. Okay, so I found, and that makes total sense. Here they are. So there's Dana and Matt, Sarah sitting there together.
Oh, that's a dope photo.
I know. So there's Brandon and Kai, and they're like, "Oh, we need fight of the night," and they got it, which is great. And it was so cool because Yeah, I took that and I sent it to both of them, and I was like, bro, you guys are great. And but yeah, being great off your back is obviously important, and that's something that's cool that you are able to, because some people recognize, like, say, some people see a weakness in their game and they're like, well, I'll just never end up in that position again ever. You know what I mean? Instead of
and that was
addressing the
totally my
weakness.
thought process for like, a few years. I was just like, well, my wrestling's getting pretty good now. I'm never gonna end up on my back. I'm never gonna
Right.
but you could get dropped.
Guess what?
Then you don't have a choice. They
Yeah.
just be happy they don't stop it early,
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm
but
active
yeah.
when I'm on bottom, Angie, but I don't do jujitsu.
Hey, I like
Or
to be
do
on
I?
top. I prefer mount.
You prefer the mount, really?
Yeah, a
You
little
do?
north south every now and then, but mostly.
Well, yeah, for sure. You prefer the mount. Interesting.
There was a funny comedian that was saying how man, I wish I could remember who it was. There's that comedy show on Netflix that just came out, and
Okay.
he was talking about how porn positions are sounding more violent, and then UFC positions or MMA positions are sounding more sexual.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm wondering, like, oh, Mark Norman, good job. How the
Oh, I
fuck?
didn't, because I haven't seen this or whatever.
Anytime someone refers to MMA, I'm like, oh, like in a comedy special or
Right,
something. I'm like, oh,
right.
what you gotta say? It better not sound stupid. You better be
Yeah,
educated.
yeah,
about
right,
it.
right.
It was a great bit. It was a really great bit. But he was talking about something like, fisting is like very violent sounding, but at the
Yes.
same time, north-south position sounds very
It does.
sexual.
It does.
And
Well, and believe me, the other stuff that I do, because I like do festivities, and some people have been like, "Really, KB? Festivities?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're massive in West Hollywood." You know what I mean? But like, I'm like, "Hey," and I
nice.
joked. I was like, "Look, you're going to remember it, though, aren't you?"
Hey, remember the festivities?
Festivities, right, coming right up.
Get in there. Get into the chat room. Oh man.
Yikes. So okay, so cool. So yeah, it's fight week for Brandon. The Giga Chikadze Calvin Kattar fight in the main event, I think, is going to be a great one. And I'm supposed to have, I think I was saying we're going to talk to Calvin on Tuesday night, Hanato and I. But that fight, again, like Calvin and Giga, same thing like I was saying with Brandon. Like, it's cool to me to see, and Calvin's already been in incredible fights. And so has Giga. Like, it's cool to see. It's sad when you see your favorite fighter starting to retire, but it's really great when you start to see these younger fighters just like really coming into their own and putting on incredible fights. Like Kattar is money. Giga is money. Like that's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. The kicks on display are going to be insane. The knees, the clinch, everything is going to be crazy. I'm wondering what the game plan is going to be for Giga, but I know he's going to be looking for that left kick. Like that's the thing that I'm going to be looking for. Calvin's going to be looking for, and he has that like real good Muay Thai background, so he knows how to deal with it, and he has that good. I feel like all Muay Thai people, when you get kicked, you have that solid way of dealing with it where you don't just go, oh, what's happening to me? You kind of like grab. If they're close enough, you can grab them and then just pretend that nothing happened and kind of try to block your liver with your elbow. And,
right.
And hope that you can recover before they fuck you up too much. So I am excited for Giga to fight someone like that because he could maybe shut down his best weapon. There's always that possibility. And like, Giga's had success with it in kickboxing and glory and all that. But in MMA, there's a lot more to look for. There's a lot more danger. So maybe he won't be able to get that kick off. Who knows? So I'm excited to see how it plays out. It's definitely, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I love when someone has like this nasty, like devastating move, and then they fight tougher and tougher competition to see if they're still able to get it. Like same thing with like Ronda Rousey's whole career. She had that armbar, and like no matter if she fought a wrestler, a judoka, a BJJ specialist, she always got the armbar. So I'm really excited to see how Giga does. Let's see it. Let's see that kick work.
So how long, though, you bring up a good point because of the liver kick, because we see it sometimes, right? People get kicked and then it's like 1,000, 2,000, and then they're shut down, right? So what is the recovery option from a liver kick though, right? Like you just said, maybe you could crowd them, you could smother them, it's like hold on to them so you don't go down. But like how long, like is it a minute? Is it 30 seconds? Like how long does it take to really sort of let a liver kick pass?
I mean, the problem is you recover, but then it's like the knockout button. As soon as you get hit again, it hurts again and does the same thing again to your body. It shuts you down. So he get hit with the kick, grabs, defends. But if Giga throws a knee to that same spot, then that was too much. So it really depends on where they are, if he can even grab him. If he does hold on to him, how bad that kick was, how bad it landed, how badly it's shutting down his body. It's a hard thing to deal with. And sometimes it doesn't even look that hard and it does a number on your body. Like sometimes it's just the whip, just the placement, just getting right underneath that rib as you're not expecting it. You don't tense up in time. So your obliques aren't bouncing. It's not bouncing off of your obliques. It just goes straight into your liver. And then that's when it really crumples you and you don't even have time to react. You're just like, oh shit. So it's such a weird thing. I really do recommend every MMA fan to let someone kick them in the liver just once.
Because it is weird. Punch. It's like a button. It's like an off button.
It's weird. It's so weird. It doesn't make sense. It's not like getting hit in the face. You know, it's like, it just, you think that nothing happened and then your body just goes, oh no. And then you're done. So yeah, it's a weird thing.
I mean, there's other ways to shut down your liver, but no, I'm kidding.
Hey, that's what I'm doing right now. Shut it down. I don't need this thing for like at least a few months.
Well, one thing that was interesting too, though, that Brandon said, like he said, what was it from the mythology thing, is like the greatest weapon is the one that also is the one that can be used to defeat you type thing or whatever. Like, so that made me start thinking, I was like, okay, well, what do I think is my own personal greatest weapon and how could that be used to defeat me? But then I was thinking, when you saying mythology, I was thinking about Achilles' heel and I was thinking about things like that. But that was an interesting, it's an interesting philosophical take. So in other words, that would mean Giga's kick is the thing that would bring him down. And so I guess if you could find a way to neutralize it or come back from it, like you said, catch it, do something with it. Like, so yeah, the thing that he throws the most, his secret weapon, his desire to keep using it could be the key to undoing him, I suppose. Yeah.
It could be, especially against someone who's so savvy on the feet, like Calvin, you know, he, like, there's all sorts of defenses for the kick. And if you're not, the whole trick to throwing that left kick is hiding it. You have to hide it. You have to hide it with the hands. You have to set it up with leg kicks. You have to do something so they don't see it coming, because if they see it coming, they're going to tense up. They're going to drop that elbow. They're going to grab it. They're going to do something to stop it from doing any damage to you. They can even just turn into the side sometimes, and it bounces off of your back instead of hitting like flush on the soft bits. You're because striking is all about protecting the soft bits and protecting the chin. You know, you got all these bony areas to protect that. So, yeah, if that's his game plan, just land a kick, then he definitely has a plan B, C, and D. Yeah. Because if he doesn't, then eventually someone's going to use that kick against him, especially if it's not finding the mark.
Right. It's going to be a good fight. And the thing too is, you know, even though obviously he was on the losing side of it, the fight with Max, I have to imagine there's so many positive takeaways for Calvin. And a fight like that, I would think, could help him level up in a lot of ways.
For sure. I mean, he hasn't really fought anyone that level yet. So now we're seeing if he gets to break into the top 5 or not. And it's really exciting because everyone always thought that he could. It was just a matter of getting him opponents, getting people to say yes, and getting those wins, getting those impressive wins, those impactful wins. And he was able to get it in his last couple of fights. And now we get to see what he does against the upper class.
I know, but this one, I know you said you don't have a dog in the fight. Like, this one hurts my heart because Giga is a Kings guy. And everybody knows, like, Kings are so near and dear to my heart. Calvin is a New England boy. I'm from Boston. Like, there's a lot of that hometown thing. There's like the whole New England cartel. It's going to be wicked impressive to see him there. So, like, I, may the best man win. But I am actually kind of torn on this one. Like, they're both great people. I don't want either to lose. Like, so, I'm gonna be.
I will say I'm rooting for the East Coast Muay Thai.
Okay,
I will say that.
Okay,
I will say that. I'm hoping his Muay Thai holds up. So I'll say that. But I don't really have a dog in the fight. Like, I love Giga's style. And either way, I'm down. I'm down for that highlight reel finish.
And what's cool too about Giga is, at first when he came into the UFC and he didn't get his finish, and then he was like, so really wanted to get his finish, and then he got them and stuff. And so it's been cool. So sort of like how we were saying is, I don't know, the theme of the show is just watching the evolution of people, watching people come into their own, watching them become who they could be and live up to their potential is just cool.
For sure. Oh, Queen Boudica Radiant is having a pick like my mom would. She says, Calvin's super handsome. I think I'm switching my pick. That sounds very Ada Albright-esque.
That's right. Oh, okay. Dean D is saying my Boston accent is the only one he can tolerate because I don't really have one. And it's one of those things is even though I grew up there, I never really picked one up. But even when I go home to Boston, I'm like, wow, man, their accents are crazy. But I just never had it because I guess maybe I always knew I was going to get in broadcasting. But if you ask me to, like, go to the Packy and pick, like, we're going to have a wicked piss of time and we're going to get some tonic and we're going to have some grinders and we're going to talk about Mike's pastry down in North End. We'll talk about, like, I don't know, like, because I love, that's where I'm from. So so it'll be funny. But yeah, I never really had the Boston accent.
I totally lost my accent in high school or in college because I had like the Maryland accent, like Merlin.
What is the Maryland accent?
Merlin. I can't even, like, you just sound kind of country. Like,
but it's not country, it's in the middle of the coast.
Quite.
Like,
yeah, it's weird. We have a draw. Like, I didn't believe it until I went to New York. And then everyone's telling me that I sounded country. And I'm like, how? I don't sound country. You don't know country people if you think I sound country. But there's a slight southern twang, but it's still kind of metropolitan because we're so close to DC. Right. So yeah, things are just drawn out a little bit. Like, let me get that jump. Like, I don't know. It's just I can't even talk like that anymore. I feel like I'm posing. Like, I'm a poser.
Right. Yeah.
No, I just Maryland. I need to go re it up. Like, I need to go to Maryland. I need to go, like, just hang out in DC for a few weeks or something. Right. So I could get that accent. Because it's like a DMV thing. It's DC, Maryland, Virginia. We all talk the same in that little area. Yeah.
Well, I almost went to Georgetown, so I almost would have ended up with it, but I didn't go there.
Yeah. That would have given you that Merlin. It's not Maryland. It's Merlin.
Merlin.
Yeah. But my accent's so bad now. I can't even fake it. I need acting lessons now.
What? Oh, well, it's reminding me of a video I saw where the girl was she was really New York, I guess, or something, and she was trying not to say, and so there were these phrases, and they were like, okay, how to not say them like a New Yorker. And one thing was like, I need a quarter for water for my dog on the corner or something, right? And so she's like, I need a quarter for water for my dog on the corner. And then she's going to think, and then she's like, wait a minute, this is messing my brain up. She's like, I need a quarter for water for my dog on the corner. And then she was like, no, that ain't right. I need a quarter for water for my dog on the corner.
It's like you don't want to think about the way words sound too much. That right. It fucks you up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I need a quarter for water for my dog on the corner. And it was like straight up Rosie Perez,
yes, I love it. That was my go-to for New York accents was Rosie Perez back in the day.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. D&D is saying me and Anik should do something together in our Boston accents because Brendan Fitzgerald is also from like out on the Cape. So if you get the three of us together to talk about Calvin F and Kata, it'll be a good one. But cool. Okay. I can tell that Butcher is getting frisky.
Butcher needs to go outside.
Butcher needs to go outside. Okay, so listen, folks, we do these every week, and we put them up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. This is episode 47, but it's the number 1 episode of season 2.
Yeah, season 2, episode 1, aka 47. Butcher.
Yeah, so you can find us on all those other places as well, and these live on my YouTube channel. And I don't know how the Twitter thing does, because I just started broadcasting there. I don't know if Twitter like logs them and keeps them. I guess they kind of don't. I don't know. But Twitch, you can go back and see it there, right? It's stockpiled.
Yeah, go back and check out the Twitch episodes. Our last 4, including this one, will be on there. And then check them out on your YouTube as well. Just click on it for the views. Give us some views. Yeah, keep it coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah, because we're just a couple of girls.
You're listening. Doing our thing. Jinx.
But yeah, so listen, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications. So Angie will be on Sirius XM Radio tomorrow at noon, you said?
Yes, tomorrow at noon. Wait, no. Tomorrow from 12 to 2 Eastern.
Okay.
What do you call it? Thingy 10 Pacific.
MMA Today with Renee somebody, you said, right?
Yes.
Rachel or Renee or something. I don't know.
Yes.
And then I'll be back on Tuesday night with Renato Laranja. We are going to have actually Calvin Cater will be our guest on Tuesday night festivities. And then we do the after party over here on YouTube. And I think Max Griffin might pop in and talk with us a little bit on the after party. So
nice. That's a good happy party. Say hi.
Yeah, what a good He's so shiny.
I know. He's super shiny ever since he broke his toe. Hopefully his cast comes off tomorrow too. So good luck to Butcher. He gets his cast off of his toe. Yeah.
We got to get Butcher like what happened was like harness or something so he can go run around town and rep the show.
A little shirt or hat or something.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, guys.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And you can find me at Karyn Bryant on Twitter and YouTube, Karyn. Bryant as in Kobe, no relation, but may he rest in peace. I'm KB Heat over on Instagram. Angie, where can people find you?
You can find me at Angie Overkill on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find me at Overkill Hill on TikTok. And you can find me on that series show we were talking about.
Cool. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm working the desk this weekend, so I will see you on Friday on UFC Live as well. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.
See ya.
Bye, everybody. Bye.